Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Really fun one set up here today. In the top right, we have the ASL champion JYJ, absolutely one of the best Protoss players in the, Terran players in the entire world. Yeah, Protoss wishes they had this guy. Just an absolute monster. And he's going to be going up against Dewalt, our Russian Protoss player. He is, the strongest non-Korean player other than Mihu. Kind of hard to say who's better between those two at the moment. But yeah, Dewalt has been just killing it lately. He is grinding super, super hard, playing against pros all the time in the ladder. It's really fun and exciting to watch his rise. He's really aiming to get into ASL. And I got nothing but respect for the guy, right? He's working really hard. He's set out what goal he has. He's working towards it. And he's doing it in the correct way. You know, a lot of people... look at StarCraft in the wrong way. And this is going to almost sound like a meme or a parody of myself, but this is true. Let me tell you guys, okay? Like, for instance, let's say that you DT rush a lot and you're making Dark Templars and you're going up the ladder and maybe you got S rank and you got all these cool DT builds and you're like, all right, I'm going to be a pro gamer. You're not. Because you're just kind of cheesing and you're not learning the really flexible, strong ways to play, and you'll never make it through a big tournament of pro gamers, right? There are right ways to play and there are wrong ways to play if you want to get to the top level. And the way Dewalt plays definitely has like the infinite potential, right? He does all the strong and difficult to do Protoss game plans. So that's why we see him really rising above where all the other foreigners have gotten to. Again, it's exciting. I have a lot of respect for the guy. I love that he's practicing in such a way, and I hope he makes it in ASL soon. But this is going to be a hard one for him. He's playing against JYJ. Now, I say that, but then I look down here and I see him going Nexus first cross spawn. And that's actually like the strongest thing that there is. So that's going to be hard for JYJ to actually end up dealing with. Not sure exactly what this will end up looking like. He does go 2-gate, so no bust potential whatsoever. There wouldn't have been really anyways. Like, you're not generally going to see a Terran player try to bust cross spawn Nexus first. It's so hard to get that done. And that's because of the travel distance, by the way, just in case you were wondering, right? So like on a 4-player map, let's say the distance, right? I'm going to zoom out. So see this between this base, like if we generally measure from ramps, right? So from this ramp to this ramp, now I haven't measured retro, but it's generally in the area of 28 seconds to maybe 31 seconds, right around there, right? So that's the rush distance there. If you look at cross spawn, so like from this ramp to this ramp is generally closer to like 38 seconds. And that might not sound like a lot, but truly it is. truly it is. Very hard to rush across a map like that. Anyways, so let's take a look at what JYJ is trying to do here. He hasn't actually scouted what's going on yet. His SCV did an end scout, and that was so he could punish Nexus first if it was close spawn. Now he's going to find it cross spawn, which is going to be, a little bit frustrating for him. Gets stopped at that ramp. Nice blocking from Dewalt. Oh, he gets it. I can't believe it. Gets that SCV. Very good block from Dewalt. And JYJ, in the meantime, does have a Vulture coming down. So the Vulture actually has some potential here. You don't want to target the Zealot. It takes a long time to kill. If you can kill like 3 probes here, that's huge. 2. Misclick. So 2. Not bad. Not bad. Like, you're going to be... That's like kind of middle of the road. Now, there's multiple things that can happen here. Some Protosses will literally just attack, move across the map after killing that first Vulture. As soon as you see that first Vulture, you know that it is impossible for them to have mines before you get there. Okay, when you add up, like, it's first off, that Vulture came out before the add-on, so then there was 25 seconds, which is approximately the travel distance, and then 50 seconds for the mines. So you know that mines are not quite ready, right? The earliest mines can be ready is right about now. And in fact, it's going to be Vulture speed. So he gets up here. There is a bunker. He's just going to go ahead and run past. He doesn't care about that bunker. He gets the Vulture. And he sacks a goon for it. Honestly, I think that's worth. As crazy as that kind of looked, I think that is worth it to get rid of one of these early vultures. So now the speed vulture's out. Another speed vulture did already wiggle out of there before, and the speed vulture is going to run by. Oh my God, this is a huge moment for JYJ. He is going for ultimate probe harassment here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, only 3 with that one. Oh, but hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like the count from Sesame Street. 5. So he killed a total of 10 probes. 10! That's insane. Look at the difference here. 34 workers against 26. That's wild. Normally, okay, so Nexus first gives anywhere from like plus like 5 probes to plus 10 probes, depending on the build orders. So that's pretty insane that Terran here is up 8 workers. You're going to be feeling absolutely fantastic here. As JYJ, he's gone ahead, thrown down an armory here as well. Second factory coming up, eBay. So kind of a standard follow-up, but just the fact that he equalized the probe count that much is amazing. You know, that's one of the big things that you're getting ahead on when you go for the Nexus first play, is you're looking specifically to get your economy way far ahead of your opponents. But the fact that Dewalt is sitting here about 8 workers down, a very bad situation indeed. Now, he's going to be playing from a little bit of a deficit. You know, he is able to just produce probes like basically nonstop from here. He actually cut a few to get his build order really going, which I kind of disagree with here. I think you can't miss any probe production unless you're going 100% all in. It doesn't look like that. It looks like he wants to do Reaver harassment and rebuild that economy, but that's going to be very difficult. Now he does have shuttle speed on the way. He has Dragoon speed on the way. We have the shuttle moving out with the Reaver. Let's take a look down here. One goon just watching for the third base being taken. That's something that you're really wondering about, is how quickly will JYJ expand. Up here, JYJ getting his starport, missile turret, missile turret, missile turret, bunker. So very good anti-air overall. Third factory is coming up. Academy is coming up. Hey, it looks real good for JYJ right now. Not gonna lie, it doesn't look like there's much damage here for Dewalt. Now Dewalt flies up with this shuttle. Sees that turret. Ooh, just gonna dive on past. Speed finishes. Doesn't get the scare about. Doesn't get the scare about. Oof. A lot going wrong right now, unfortunately, here for Dewalt. He's going to fly into that main base. The turret misses him. Oh, God. He takes a mine hit on that Reaver as well. He's lost his Zealots, so he can't even really drop out of the shuttle near a siege tank, or it might just blow up in one hit. Tough, tough, tough situation. Looks like he's going to... Yeah. Wraith on the way as well to make sure he can chase this out. You know, he knows that shuttles are going to be back. The Wraith is going to be very, very useful. So this situation for JYJ looking good. By the way, he did, you know, I think he lost maybe an SCV there or something, but he is making the comp sets as well, which loses you a net 4 SCVs. You can see that the worker count is equalizing, but still a better position here for JYJ, right? Like if you're 9 minutes in the game and you're at the same workers as Protoss, you're actually very happy as Terran, right? Like if you can keep up your worker count for 8 to 9 minutes, that's gigantic, because normally Protoss is done their workers, right? They get up into mid-60s on a normal game without harassment really hitting by now. So, yeah, anyways, it's a good sign for JYJ, as we would expect from the ASL Champ. Now, some speed vultures rotating up here. Gets a probe. Gonna lay a couple mines there and just be relatively annoying. The speed shuttle with Reavers in it coming up to make sure that he's cleared everything out. Sitting there very, very defensively. Probe's going to be transferred up to that main base. And now Arbiter on the way after that speed shuttle Reaver, which isn't actually, this is not the most common way to play. This could be Dewalt taking a little bit of a risk, but honestly, this is a good style for this map in general. It's a very good map for Arbiter. It's like a very good recall map. And, you know, there's a lot of reasons for that. This basically Retro is a remake of Fighting Spirit. It's much better than Fighting Spirit, but it's got a lot of the same strengths and weaknesses for the players. The third bases, if they get recalled, they're basically just done. You know, they're not as small as Fighting Spirit, but they're still pretty small, and it's really hard to clear them. Like if you recall a bunch of Protoss units, getting up that ramp to clear it, you'll generally lose the command center, or at least all the SCVs by the time you get that out of there. Now, an empty dropship running over here. Looks like he'll catch that with the Dragoons. There were 4 vultures waiting for pickup over here. I wonder if he knows. Clearing this, it looks like Dewalt wants to expand to the top left, so he might actually just kind of randomly run into these while he's clearing mines. Yeah, it looks like he finds that, so sees that that dropship was empty. He'll be able to kill those off very easily. Meanwhile, back at JYJ's base, 2-1 is on the way. He's got very solid defense overall. Lots of tanks up at that third base. Lots of missile turrets spread about, and double Wraith play as well. I love to see that. At Dewalt's base, okay, photon cannon, photon cannon, photon cannon. So he's got some good anti-drop defense. He's also got great SimCity, as you can see, like if we zoom in a little bit. It's like you can't really run past, right? There's not very good holes here if you do a drop, and even if you do, you have to target very carefully because of the photon cannon. Arbiter's on the way, more gates coming up. He is taking his 4th base in that top left that we already saw him clearing out. Some Reavers up at the front. Of course, the Wraiths can help out amazingly against that as well. Don't forget, I really like this play. Wraiths have become much more popular lately as an anti-Reaver unit here, right? Doesn't look like he has Cloak. You know, we do see, for instance, Light go Cloak a lot, but doesn't look like JYJ is totally on that trend right now. Gonna just pull back with those for now. I don't think Cloak would have done too much. He might have been able to get this shuttle because the Observer is a little bit slow before you get that speed upgrade. Anyways, the Vulture's kind of getting stuck here a little bit. Looks like he can't quite block. Tries to hold him off and will come up with some additional units here to knock out those Vultures as well. Now, going up to some additional factories, 2-1 is finished. And what is JYJ going to do now? You can see their worker count is even. Dewalt trying to take more bases. And yeah, he does have 1 Arbiter house so far. So here's the main thing that I'm noticing in this game, right? They're very even in supply, very close there. As far as splash damage or just spells in general, we might have like 1 stasis, and then there's 2 Reavers in that shuttle, right? No High Templars or anything yet. So sometimes there's actually an attack timing that opens up. Oh my God, this Vulture harassment's doing so well. Look at this. He was up at 66 probes, and now look at him. Gonna just target as many as he can. He knows he got a lot of damage there. Really beautifully done. Down to 49 workers for Dewalt. So he is gonna have to reinforce those probes. Transfers everything off of here, it looks like. So that's, well, he does want to get the probes up to these bases and mining as quickly as possible. But like I was saying before, right? This, like, if you look at the armies, the actual army of JYJ is better than Dewalt's. And of course, a lot of this comes down to how much probe damage he did. Dewalt would have a way better army if he hadn't lost 10 probes at the beginning of the game. He is getting recall. We have to assume he already has stasis in there. Psystorm on the way. Observer speed coming up as well. JYJ is just getting 3-2 and getting EMP. He does have enough mana for an EMP right now. Uses his Wraiths here to get rid of that shuttle. So that's honestly, he loses like more Vultures than I really want to see. I feel like he just lost 8 Vultures there to kill the 2 Reavers, which I guess actually isn't that bad when you think about the fact that he got the Reavers in the shuttle. But I think the attack timing is actually now. Sometimes it can be hard to read an attack timing like this. You know, he's lost some Vultures out harassing and everything. But basically he's playing against a very weak army. Like, it's just Dragoon Zealot at the moment. There is an Arbiter somewhere. I'm kind of clicking around trying to find that Arbiter. I honestly don't know where it's hiding. Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay, so Dewalt's idea here is recall. It's waiting. It's actually got the mana for it as well. Yeah, here we go. Dewalt going to go for a recall here. See, he sees this kind of starting to move out. He knows that most of the army's here, so it is a good time for him to recall. Now, these turrets, There's not that many mines, not that many turrets. There are a couple wraiths, which is kind of nice. Not the biggest recall. Does have to take it seriously, though. Does have to take it seriously. This one siege tank kind of drawing fire for a bit. He's losing mostly just missile turrets. Gets up here with the vessel. That could be a good target. Sometimes they love to target that when it comes in. JYJ moving his siege tanks up. Dewalt, you know, he's killing a little bit, but JYJ in the meantime, you know, he is cleaning up what's in his main. He's not too afraid of it. It wasn't the most deadly recall and continues to push out in the front like this. Now, can he get some good EMPs down? No EMP as of yet. A storm goes down on his army, but not that scary. Oh, that was the sickest EMP. Look at that. Shield's gone on so many units. All the mana off of this Arbiter as well. So that makes it pretty tough. Oh my God, this is still going on. He's lost like 4 or 5 turrets. He's lost 3 depots. He's lost a lot of vultures, some Goliaths, a siege tank. Actually, really surprising that that is still going on. We're at very similar supplies right now. JYJ moving up, attacking towards Dewalt. He wants to kill off this army, and it's actually, I like this move a lot. Throws down another EMP. Didn't actually need that one, but just making sure he's going to be able to absolutely demolish this army. The army just cannot stand up to this. The great upgrades of JYJ at 3-2 here, going up against just +2 attack. And of course, Terran upgrades scale much better as well. Anyways, and he's going to kill off the main army of Dewalt. Dewalt does not have gateways up here. He's making a couple. Only cannons and just a little bit of anything here, really. Like 1 Dragoon, some gates being made, sure, but that's going to take a while. And there's a vessel, so you can't even do things like, well, now you can. Sometimes you just make DTs at the expansions and try to screw up the multitasking of Terran. Looking back at JYJ's base, he cleaned out the recall. I know the recall could be good, but there's just not a big army. So, like, Dewalt has to say, okay, I could do a recall, but I'm going to go down to 3 base because these 2 are going to die. Or he can try to save these bases. It looks like he chooses the latter. Comes up here with 2 speed shuttles that have zealots in it, but it's only 8 zealots. And don't forget, this is +2 armor. So it's like they don't even care about the attack upgrades on those zealots either. Not looking very good for Dewalt right at this second. The siege tanks coming in and doing a very good job. This Nexus is almost gone. This Nexus doesn't look long for this world either. Is Dewalt rallying out a quality army here? A Reaver, a Shuttle's on the way, mostly Zealots and Dragoons, a couple High Templars in there, so that's good. Doesn't look like we have another Arbiter as of yet, unfortunately. Yeah, this is just that Zealot still. And it doesn't look like he has an Arbiter anywhere on the map either. So Dewalt in a very, very tough position here. One thing to mention about JYJ, he's getting his 4th base. This is a little bit late for a 4th base, but 4th bases can be hard on this map as well. You know, he really kind of optimized everything he was doing to get his upgrades out very quickly and have a stronger army. So it feels like JYJ has played this game just immaculately after dealing all that damage early on. Dewalt right now trying to sneak in a gateway. This is, again, probably just going to be like a DT to clear this because he has these probes. He wants to save them. He wants to make a Nexus. It's a smart idea for him to try there. Now, up comes a group of Dragoons for Dewalt. It looks like he wants to see if he can pick things off. No, not going to work out like that. Okay, gets 1 tank and the vessel. Going to lose 3 goons for that. That's definitely worthwhile. 4th base, a new 4th base going up for Dewalt here. Speed shuttle with Reaver coming over towards this base, but this looks pretty darn well defended. You're going to lose that shuttle super, super fast. Yeah, only 2 of his 3 units get out. The other Zealot does not even make it. The Scarab getting stuck. Not much damage at all. Now JYJ dominating by 50 supply. Dewalt's chances in this game very much reduced. I gotta say, I mean, a lot of things went wrong for him, but he definitely put up a good fight. He got up to 5 bases this game. He got a recall off. You know, he was up near max supply. So good stuff considering he lost 10 workers at the beginning of the game. And honestly, it feels like JYJ is playing this game not perfectly, but like really well. I have a hard time thinking of a cleaner TVP than what we've seen here. Like everything has been done very well on time. The defense of everything was super, super good. You know, he didn't have great defense against the recall, but he used that time to attack and kill the army as well as 2 bases. And that's huge. That's just gigantic. So moving out into the center, he should be able to win this fight. There's some good Psy Storms, no doubt. Damn, those are really good Psy Storms coming out of Dewalt, but that's all the Psy Storms that he has. So, you know, the army size reduced slightly, but Dewalt has to pull back. He's on just Dragoons and some no energy High Templars. More units over here ready to come out and fight as well. But look at the reinforcements. Honestly, if Dewalt had his whole army here, he could have killed this. And maybe that could have made something happen, but with the rest of the army coming in, it's just the supply differential is so high right now. Archon being made. There's one Psystorm left in this army. We'll see if he's able to get any good hits with it. Moves forward with a portion of his army. Unfortunately, a lot of it does not move forward there. Looks like he had some discrepancies in his commands. EMP comes out, hits that Arbiter as well. The Arbiter gets picked off, but Dewalt will pull back. He's trying to run away from this army right now. You know, he's actually getting more bases set up. Here's that DT I was talking about. Looks like maybe those probes actually ended up fighting the siege tank and barely winning. A Nexus is going up. He does have this fourth base mining pretty well. Main empty, natural empty. Third base still healthy. But JYJ here, he's got his third. He's got his fourth. He's got his great upgrades. Continuing to push forward. Oof. Yeah, some good storms. It looks like Dewalt will be able to kill off this forward group of units, but there's actually still quite a few siege tanks behind. I tell you, the Psy Storms of Dewalt have done a fantastic job holding off JYJ. And I got to say, like, things add on to each other very quickly, right? Things stack up really quickly in RTS games in Brood War, right? So he lost 10 workers, but still kind of made all these battles pretty close. Can you imagine if he hadn't lost those? I think he would have been in a great position here, but GG is called. JYJ takes down Dewalt.